Doesn't matter where I go, somewhere I get questions about Dale Earnhardt. Want a story, or how was it with Dale, or what are you going to do with the three? All of these different questions you get, and I think his legacy will live a long time in the sport. It's I'm going to do everything I can to make sure while I'm here that it does live.
How often do you revisit 2001, the Daytona 500, in your own mind?
I don't. I have personally tried to totally block that out of my mind. And, when I get asked a question, it deserves an answer, and I'll answer it as well as I can. But as I said earlier, what gets me through is remembering all the good times and the great times and the fun times that I had with Dale Earnhardt. But I try to block as much of that day out of my mind unless someone asks me, and I feel like they deserve an answer. We were climbing a mountain in New Mexico. We'd been hunting and climbed this mountain, and typical Dale, we were climbing. Dale had the guide's horse's tail, you bridle. It's just the way you hunt and climb hills and dangerous mountains. And we get up this thing, and Dale's horse starts slipping on this big chunk of ice and starts rearing up and coming back on me. I had his horse's tail, so I had to come off the mountain. And when I jumped, the horse flipped behind me. Trees caught us both before we could have been bad. And Dale and I called it the Great Horse Wreck. And we got back to camp that night. Naturally, Dale blamed me for pulling his horse off the mountain like I could physically. But we got back to camp that night and having a cocktail around the fireplace. And he said, I told him, I said, Dale, if I got killed on that mountain today, you'd have had to race Phoenix. And we looked at each other, and he says, if it ever happens to me, you better race. But you'd have had to know how. He told me you better race. So that helped it make it a lot easier. He felt strong about Kevin. He knew he was a very, very talented young man, and he gave us blessings to put him in another Cup car. He thought he could get it done. He was willing to work with him to help him become a Cup driver. When we were talking before Kevin, this was before Kevin's time, when we were talking about what we were going to do with the three and what we were going to do when he retired. And Jeff Burton when we were talking, he said, Jeff Burton can go out there and win championships with that three. Because him and Jeff raced some really hard, good racing back in the day, and he had a lot of respect for Jeff as a driver. But he knew that I'd hired Kevin to drive her nationwide, and I try to move our drivers up within, and I was going to move Kevin up. Jeff was under contract, and when it come time to do another Cup team, Kevin was our choice, and Dale bought into it.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.